Doctor, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated. All right, so the attempted assassination on Donald Trump, a lot of things. Look, you've been on stage before him. A lot of things don't add up to you, for you. And coming up next hour, Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin tells me there are 8 casings found on that roof. 8. We've been told 5 shots. Well, there's 8 casings up there, so there's a lot more information coming out. We've got information about how badly this was handled. What is your take on it?
McCullough Foundation, we put out a video assembling all the evidence that we saw within 48 hours. We counted 6. They found 8 casings. Our interpretation is that Michael Crooks acted alone. He didn't appear to be a part of a 2 or 3 person, well-trained assassin team. He looked like a disaffected youth who potentially could have been seduced or influenced. The roof looks like it was intentionally left open. This is the most disturbing thing. It was well within any security perimeter. It was intentionally left open. But to me, the most astounding fact is that even by the timeline given by the Secret Service, they had 52 minutes, law enforcement and Secret Service, to get Trump to a secure location, shut down the event, get everybody out of the venue. No one should have ever been fired upon, and Crooks potentially could have been taken alive. This would have been usual Secret Service law enforcement interdiction.
Trying to get a person to answer questions, right? Because we don't have any idea where the drone came from, the explosives came from. We're told there was a remote detonator that he had somewhere near his body when he was found. The rifle was there. We think that came from his father. Again, we'll have some more answers with Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin joining me next hour. But look, 152 yards, that's my understanding of how the distance was. Nobody should be that close, Doctor. I mean, that doesn't even pass any stink test. Oh, the roof is too sloped or this or that. And now the Secret Service director resigns, making her harder to get to. None of this makes any sense, not to the casual observer, not to the person like yourself who's done analysis. I mean, we need answers, and we need them fast.
It looks like almost incompetence is being feigned as a cover-up for what could have been some intentional actions. If someone actually called a sentry, a local law enforcement officer, or a counter sniper off that roof, if someone was actually assigned there and called off the roof, if indeed Secret Service did not meet with local law enforcement at the 9 a.m. pre-meeting, if all of that happened, it suggests that there was intentionality, that potentially there were nefarious actors, agents, certain people. Not everybody in the security team would have been informed, but there was enough intentionality to let Crooks get up there and take some shots. They must have known he was coming. And fortunately, Trump turns his head just at the split second. He was millimeters from a fatal headshot.
Right, either in the front or the back. If he had turned his head to the right, he would have caught it in the cheek. If he had turned his head to the left, he would have caught it right behind the ear. Neither of which is a good outcome, is it?
No, it's not. It would have been fatal, and it was for Corey Compatore. Sadly, he died as an innocent bystander. 2 others were injured. None of it should have happened.
Let me shift gears. So you have an attempted assassination on the opposition party's leading candidate and the former president. Then within a few days, you have the other president, the president that's in office, just disappears, claims to have COVID, just vanishes, while they install a new standard bearer in 31 hours. The vice president now apparently gets, coronated. If this was happening in a third world country and we were watching, we'd be calling for investigations. We'd be calling for the United Nations to step in. And yet we just sit here slack-jawed going, none of this is normal. None of this is normal in any stretch of the imagination. Let's talk about Joe Biden. What is his capacity today, Doctor? I mean, you've watched him enough. What do you think?
Prior to this recent health event, and I did predict a recent health event would actually take him down, he was developing a combined dementia and movement disorder. He had features of both Alzheimer's and Parkinson. Remember, he's had 2 brain surgeries. That contributes to dementia over many decades. He's had chronic atrial fibrillation, risk for microstrokes, sleep apnea syndrome. and then 6 Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines on record. All of those in the published literature contribute to progressive neurodegenerative decline. So he's, from a neuro perspective, a mental perspective, he's not capable as serving as a candidate for presidency. So he's appropriately stepped down. But this had so much lead time. You think it would have been done in a coordinated fashion. The first letter that comes out on unofficial letterhead says, "I'm stepping down from the race," and it says nothing about what's going to happen next. Then about an hour later, another letter says, Kamala Harris is now, I endorse her for president. He said to have COVID and 10 doses of Paxlovid. That's what Kevin O'Connor, his doctor, has stated. Now, Paxlovid, as a primary treatment, has a CDC health warning that it prolongs the illness. It actually just drags it out more. And that's probably where he is right now. He probably has prolonged COVID-19. The vaccines obviously have failed. He serves as the most public example. The vaccines are only approved to prevent COVID-19. They're not licensed to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death.
Right.
So he's suffering miserably from failed vaccines and Paxlovid extending his illness.
Well, I'm curious if he has a fatal illness, a terminal illness, because his brother Frank, his younger brother, said to CBS News this week, "We are just grateful for whatever time we have left." Wow. That's what people say when somebody's going into hospice. I mean, that's what it is. When somebody has a fatal illness, that's what family members say, isn't it, Doctor?
It's true. And a couple of points from the onset of well-recognized dementia, and he's easily 2+ years into this, the survival is only 2 years. And with COVID-19, although patients don't die directly of it, they can die of a secondary pneumonia, an aspiration pneumonia, a stroke. So we haven't seen them. And so I wouldn't count any of these out.
Yeah. I also want to mention the wellness company for whom you work. You've created these great kits to deal with, COVID, a bug bite, the plague. You've got things like hydroxychloroquine, Z-Pak, Tamiflu, all these great kits. They're all available at twc.health/Gruber, twc.health/Gruber. If you want to talk to doctors that know what they're doing, get something on your shelf so you don't have to worry about what's coming around the corner. This is it, Doctor. I've got about 30 seconds. I'll give you the last word.
We recently took a trip to a national park and we brought the kit and we used it. I tell you, bring the kit with you when you travel. Something's going to come up. The user guide, the telemedicine on the other end, and it just has the right blend of medicines that we need to rely on from time to time.
twc.health/Gruber. Real quickly, yes or no, does Joe Biden make it to November 5th in office?
No.
That's what I think. Dr. Peter McCullough, greatly appreciate you being here.
Thank you.